I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Give me your hand. Why are you sitting here Googling all of the symptoms of your headache, but not the symptoms of your abandonment issues? I know for a fact that we have all gone on that WebMD, do I have a brain tumor? But yet when it comes to you facing the internal work and doing the internal work, we look the other way. Pure heya, hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Kayla Nolan and today we're going to talk about how to stop abandoning yourself. Firstly, how to recognize if you are abandoning yourself, aka the symptoms. So if you have, let's say, any January New Year's resolutions that you find yourself not really sticking to, this video is going to be for you. This is the video that you need to watch in order to actually be able to show up for yourself a little bit better. And in today's video, we are coming to you nice and cozy in my snuddy and with a nice cup of tea. I actually went for a little lemon and ginger tea today just because I knew I was gonna talk a lot, and sometimes my throat tends to get a little bit dry and a little bit sore when I am yapping the ears off you. If you're new to my channel, I talk a lot about a lot about self-development and working on yourself and trying to be the best version of you possible and trying to learn to love all versions of you. And if that sounds like your cup of tea, truly, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because 2026 is the year that I become an influencer. You may not know me yet, but you will. Firstly, you need to know that I am no clinical professional or anything like it. I'm not trying to diagnose anybody. But the whole purpose of my channel is that I want people to have an anchor, a landing ground, a safe space to come and be your authentic self and to see that everybody has their own things going on for them. So, does this sound like you? Are you ignoring yourself? Are you ignoring how you feel? Are you ignoring what you actually might need? Are you ignoring what you actually don't want to do for the sake of other people? Are you ignoring yourself enough for you to actually completely forget you actually exist, enough to just live in survival mode, yet you're so willing to hear everybody else and listen to everybody else and take care of everybody else because maybe you value their opinion, maybe you value how they see you and how they view you more than you value how you see yourself or how you show up for yourself. If that does sound a little like you, I'm guessing that there's a chance that you're hiding who you really are, what you really want from life, maybe how you really feel in life, in the version of life that you are living right now. Because generally when we're abandoning ourselves, usually one of the main symptoms is actually to hide who we are, all because we want other people to accept us and to approve of us when we don't even know ourselves enough to accept ourselves or to approve of ourselves. I'm betting that you squeeze yourself into this version of you that is acceptable to everybody else and that is lovable to everybody else, but yet where's your self-love in all of that? When you abandon yourself, it doesn't look how it necessarily looks when other people abandon you. If your dad never showed up in your life, that is very evident abandonment issues. But when we have poor boundaries or have a codependency to our best friend or boyfriend, we don't brush our teeth, we don't take care of ourselves, like we do the bare minimum for ourselves, go above and beyond for other people. When you're doing that, that's self-abandonment. And usually we go about life because we don't really actually notice that we're abandoning ourselves. We don't actually notice that, oh, that behavior that I'm actually doing, all that people pleasing, that's actually me being mean to myself, and maybe I should stop doing that. So one of the main reasons why I came to this video on my snuddy and with the cozy vibes and the decompression room energy, if you don't know what decompression room is, you should go check out my other decompression videos. The reason why I came with this energy is because self-development requires a level of honesty that a lot of us aren't really able to face on our own. In this video, I wanted to create a space to be able to have somebody to hold this honesty for you. Take it as a big sister coming and telling you and giving you advice and just helping you and supporting you and wanting you to grow and thrive and love yourself and love your whole existence. I hope you have your cup of tea now and I hope you're ready to get cozy on down, because I have 3 chapters that's going to help you understand where your self-abandonment is coming from, what it looks like, and then how you can start supporting yourself and to stop abandoning yourself. Because this year, 2026, it's our year. I know that most people watching any form of self-development video is most likely hoping to have a better January, have a better new year. And you can't stick to your plans, you can't stick to your goals, you can't show up for yourself very well if you're abandoning yourself left, right and center for everybody else and everything else. You can't stop abandoning yourself. If you don't even know you're a person, if you don't even know you are somebody, think about how many times in your life you take care of everybody else. You show up for everybody else. Think about how many times that you make sure you're on time, make sure that you look decent, make sure that anybody else has the basic needs that they need in this lifetime. But yeah, sometimes you forget that you're also somebody. You are also somebody very important. If not, might I add, the most important person to yourself. You are the most important person in your life. I say this all the time because I hopefully soulfully believe this. Although I love my best friend with my whole heart and soul, and I love all my people, I have to be the most important person in my life. I very much have abandonment issues. I very much abandoned myself so many times over the years. Even to this day, I still have moments where I'm like, oh, that's self-abandonment. Let me rewire that thought pattern. But I have abandonment issues, and I definitely have abandoned myself. I understand how easy it is to not even recognize that you are showing up for everybody else, and maybe I'm actually really not showing up for myself. In order to recognize that you're a person and that you are somebody worth showing up for, you need to stop ignoring yourself. I'm sorry, I said it. You need to stop ignoring yourself. You need to recognize what you need and actually listen to that. For example, today I was going to dress up all lovely and gorgeous and stunning, and then I was at it having lunch and all of that jazz, and I'd done my makeup, done my hair, and I was like, girl, I don't want to go on and scream at my viewers. I don't want to go on YouTube and just be another YouTuber that shouts at you. I want to be a YouTuber that has fun and has cozy vibes and has my mac and cheese MacBook. I didn't feel like I wanted to show up in a suit or in the bad bitch energy. I wanted to show up cozy. So I listened to that, and that's why we're having the cozy vibes, extra cozy vibes today. But you need to listen to what you need. Listen to what you want as well. Yes, listen to what you need, aka, do you need food? Do you need water? When I'm shooting, when I'm having recording days, I always forget to eat and I always forget to hydrate. I have my bottle of water, my cup of tea, and I just ate a whole pizza and chicken nuggets. I know it's not very nutritious, but I did it because I knew I got to know myself enough to know that I was gonna need food. But also, giving yourself what you want is allowed. In and around January, we kind of tend to get a little bit extra strict with ourselves, especially if it's linked to your goal that you want to have. For example, if you want to lose weight, you tend to get more strict in and around food and exercise and all of that kind of thing. But a sweet treat every now and then is not going to kill you, and you are just a girl after all. You deserve a sweet treat. A part of not ignoring yourself is also not distracting yourself. I was for this back in the day because I would always be so busy. I thought that meant I was taking over the world. I'm obviously doing something right because I'm busy all the time. Yeah, that was a distraction from me looking at myself and me doing the work that I needed to do in order to love myself and go after what I wanted in life. What are you distracting yourself with? What is it? What are you distracting yourself with? Is it TikTok? Because we're all so good at that right now. I know for a fact that 1 or 20,000 times I have stayed up a little too late. Even though I knew I wanted to wake up early the next morning, I stayed scrolling and I ignored that little inner thought in my head that said, hey, maybe I should stop scrolling and go to bed now. I ignored it. And that's me ignoring myself and me ignoring the part of me that wants to get up in the morning and go after everything that I want in life. So what are you distracting yourself with? Usually when people are distracting themselves, it's because we actually don't really want to face what's really going on within us. So say for example, if you're having some negative emotions going on inside your body, if you're having some mental distress going on inside your head, you tend, I don't know why, societally maybe, to distract yourself and to keep yourself busy so that way you don't actually have to face it. But that's also you abandoning yourself. That's you ignoring the fact that you actually need some support in that moment. A huge part of us showing up for ourselves and a huge part of us being able to mind ourselves and take care of ourselves is to understand the support systems that support you. I know I can't scroll at nighttime. I know I have to take that temptation away. Otherwise, I'm going to be on that TikTok all night long. Even just to become aware of what your actual needs actually are. At the start of every year, we all want to go to the extreme. In reality, it's not an overnight shift of identity. We kind of have to set a good foundation in order to be able to sustain all of the momentum that is needed to achieve that big goal. I have spoken a lot about us getting in our own way and us ignoring ourselves. I'm not blaming anyone for stuff. It's nobody's fault. It is your responsibility to work on all of this, but it's not your fault for you abandoning yourself. Other people, external people, they usually play a really big role in us abandoning ourselves, aka people pleasing. So let me ask you one thing, right? Do you ever notice that you do everything for everybody else and you don't mind doing that? You love helping people, you love showing up for people, you love your people, but it kind of burns you out a little bit, especially when you notice that you're not getting that energy reciprocated. What is actually happening there is you are abandoning yourself to show up for everybody else. And you are expecting everybody else to give you the same love and energy that you give out. But in reality, not everybody is you. Actually, nobody is you. Why are you emptying your own cup so much just to give to everybody else and not to yourself? Because that, my baby girl, is poor boundaries. And in 2026, we are building strong, safe, secure boundaries with ourselves and especially with other people. It is a privilege to know you. It is a privilege to be in your energy. It is a privilege to be loved by you. And anybody that is walking all over that and using that to their advantage has to go. Bye bye. See you later. Yes, our standards are high, but we set the standards. We meet our own standard. So why would we lower our standard for anybody else just because they can't meet it? Absolutely not. Actually, just on that note real quick, I just want to mention that you do not need to keep the peace. Period. You do not need to keep the peace. You never ever need to stay quiet or let people walk all over you or let people break your boundaries in order to keep the peace. If you are choosing to do that, you want to do that. Maybe it's comfort zone. Maybe it's because you're afraid of confrontation. For somebody to walk all over you, you're literally abandoning yourself in that moment. You're saying, actually, you go ahead, you take everything that I have and I'll just sit here with nothing. I'm like, who are you doing that for? Like, who are you keeping the peace for? Sometimes that is the best thing to do. Sometimes it's the right thing is to not argue. But if you're keeping the peace so that way you're getting validation or acceptance or approval from a parent, from a boyfriend, from a friend, you have to become enough for yourself. I'm sorry to say it, but you have to do the work to become enough for yourself, to be okay with the decisions that you make, to be okay with the promises that you keep and to keep the promises that you keep, to know that if you do bite back, you're gonna stand your ground in that and you're gonna eat and leave no crumbs. You have to become enough for yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna people please for the rest of your life and your own validation will never truly be enough and you will chase everybody else's expectation and validation. While doing so, you will keep leaving this little version of you, this hurt version of you that was abandoned at one stage or another, that was told she wasn't good enough. You're going to keep abandoning that inner child within you unless you show up for yourself, unless you are willing to actually turn around and face that little inner child and say, you know what, actually I'm here for you. I have got you. You need to become your own friend. You know that like kid within you, that inner child within you? For me, when I talk about abandonment issues, I know that the inner child within me is the one that got abandoned by her dad, and then the same one that got abandoned by her mom, aka my ma. Crota. But my dad's, he just left. Gone with the wind. But I know that when I think about my inner child abandonment issues, this is so awkward, I feel like I'm in therapy. But when I think about her, I think about a little version of Kayla who would like sit on the stairs, fully dressed, ready to go, waiting for my dad to pick me up. That version of me is the version of me, like when I abandon myself now, if I don't show up for my morning routine, if I, you know, do XYZ, that's the version of me that's getting hurt. That's the version of me that is sad because I let myself down. Even though it's actually linked to me dad, it's also linked to every time you let yourself down. In my journey of healing my self-abandonment, that version of me, I had to become her friend. And it sounds kind of silly, but how else are you supposed to be your own friend? How else are you supposed to be kind to yourself, be loving to yourself, show up for yourself, if you don't even know yourself, if you don't even spend time with yourself, if you don't even give yourself the things that you like or talk to yourself how you would like to be spoken to? Would you be friends with somebody who was calling you a fat piece of shit all the time? No, I severely hope not. Even if they're joking, if anybody talks to me in a mean way, I say, I don't speak to myself like that, you're not allowed to speak to me like that either. And that's how it goes, because even if they're joking, I don't joke about being fat, I don't joke about being ugly, I don't joke about any negative self-criticism. It's not funny. It's not funny, actually. Thanks very much. This is a perfect example, actually, because would you joke about a child being fat? Whatever mean things that you're saying to yourself, would you say that to that child that's sitting on the stairs waiting for your dad to come and collect you? No, you wouldn't. So why would you do that to yourself? Because you are just as important now as you were back then. Whether you believe that soulfully or not, I believe that enough to sit here and to make this video for you to see. So being your own friend looks like getting to know yourself, right? But getting to know yourself like shadow work level. Know who that inner child is within you that was abandoned for you to feel like you're not good enough to show up for yourself. Get to know what it is that you would like from life and what it is that is stopping you from going and getting that. For me, for a really long time, I was not going and getting anything that I wanted because I had major imposter syndrome, because I didn't feel good enough to show up on camera or to run a whole company all by myself. Like, I wasn't taught how to do that. How would I know how to do that? Who am I to do? What do you mean, who are you? You are that girl. You are her. And if you're confused, lost, don't know how to get to know yourself on that level, I recommend Pinterest for absolutely everything in my whole existence. But Pinterest has a lot of self-development prompts for you to dig a little deeper. Stop hiding your true self. Stop hiding yourself. Dress how you want to dress. Show up in the world how you want to show up in the world. When you dress how your dream self, your dream girl would dress, you're channeling that energy, that higher self energy, right? But also what you're doing is you're giving yourself permission to be who you want to be who you are, and you're allowed to be who you are. And we constantly compare ourselves to social media and to other people and to who we're supposed to be / who we were, when who you are right now is enough. Who you are right now, she's lovable, she's fun, she has amazing style, she is pretty and beautiful and kind and full of love. So don't hide her from the world. Show the world her. Show the world the real you. When we are authentic to ourselves, that's when we literally create magic. When I'm authentic to myself and yapping the ears off everyone on YouTube, that's when I create magic. 10 points to Gryffindor. Make one promise to yourself. Make a small promise, like the time you wake up in the morning, or brushing your teeth every day, or something that has physically got to do with you that you do literally to yourself, for yourself, with yourself. The opposite of self-abandonment is self-trust. When you trust yourself, you show up for yourself. When you trust yourself, you are open to loving yourself, accepting yourself, being confident in yourself, experimenting, testing, challenging yourself. But it all has to start with something manageable, and it all has to start with something small. By you choosing this, you're not only not neglecting yourself, not abandoning yourself, but you're also keeping a promise to yourself and learning to trust yourself. When you say that, oh, I'm gonna get up tomorrow and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna da 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 da, and then you don't do any of it, that's you abandoning yourself. That's you abandoning yourself, and we don't do that anymore, remember? We don't do that anymore. That's not us. And then the thing is that when you learn to trust yourself and stop abandoning yourself, you become more comfortable with yourself, and you're actually less reliant on anybody else, because you don't need anybody else to do all of the things that you can do for yourself. Point blank period. But I know, for example, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you right now. I live with my sister, and she's amazing, love her so much, but she cooks dinner for the whole house like pretty much every day. I was very reliant on that, and I said, you go girl, I hate cooking, you're taking a big weight off my shoulders, thank you very much. But then there's sometimes when like she can't be arsed to cook, which is so valid, and then I'm like, oh, now I have to cook. This year in 2026 I decided that I would cook dinner at least once a week. Like lunch, breakfast, all that's fine, right? It's fine, I can do it. I'm such a cleaner that I hate cooking. I'm gonna cook dinner at least once a week, I said to myself. And I did it last week. But that's me showing up for myself in that way, becoming less reliant on my sister to make food so I can make food when she's not in the mood. And so that way it's not such a big task for me, because I have major ADHD, right? And because I literally need food, my body gets demand avoidance. So it's like, oh, like I'd rather do anything else but cook. But that's not right, darling. I shouldn't have relied on her to make dinner. Yes, she's a bleeding chef, but at the same time, that's me abandoning my own needs because somebody else was going to make that more convenient. Then when that was taken away, I was left with nothing. Not none, like there's no food. Nothing like as in I had to show up even more for myself and it was more strenuous. The thing is, many people, the thing that they're reliant on or the person that they're reliant on, if that person leaves, a lot of us tend to panic. In 2025, I was healing my need for male validation. And in that process, I noticed that I was feeling very bored, especially at night time. Because that's usually when I would text a man or when I would go see a man, etc. It's okay to be bored. It's okay to have space where you feel uncomfortable because inevitably you're going to fill that space. That is probably uncomfortable. But by removing the things that don't support us and replacing them with the things that do support us, we can become a whole human being, a whole person within ourselves. And isn't that the intention? Because the world has taught us that we need to disconnect from ourselves, from the world. Like, look around. Like, I literally have 4 different types of technology right in front of me right now. Not a single person other than myself in the room. Truly zoom out for a second. The world has taught us to disconnect from everything, including ourselves. It's time to start connecting to yourself. Just like a bleeding Lego piece or a plug socket. If you have watched this video so far, I hope that you have found some value in it. I hope that you truly hear that somebody in the world sees you and sees that part of you that is trying, because you wouldn't have clicked on this video if you didn't believe that you were worth connecting to, if you didn't believe that you were worth loving and valuing and trusting. There is a part of you that is right now showing up for yourself because you've watched this video so far, whether it's just because you like me or whether it's because you saw the title. There is a part of you that does want more in this lifetime, and you are made for more, therefore you can have more. Really, genuinely, when you're abandoning yourself and when you're not showing up for yourself and doing all of these things that we mentioned, you're actually hurting that little version of you that's sitting on the stairs waiting for you. And don't forget, I'm holding your hand when I say that. So I'm proud of you for just watching this video, and obviously I appreciate you for watching this video. I do think that it's important that we all have a space to come to when we feel like we want to grow, but in a almost like a soft space, hard discipline kind of way. Like, we can come and we can grow and we can be ourselves, but also we can wear our snuddy and light some candles and have our little mac and cheese MacBook and chill out and not almost be screamed at in order to heal. If you want to watch this video and then turn off your telly and then get into bed and ignore everything I just said, you can do that, but that's abandoning yourself. But I know you, and I know you're going to get at least momentary dopamine from watching this video. So if you do, maybe that's your chance to go and choose what one small promise that you can do for yourself, and maybe you can leave that in the comments below so that way I can support you on, and maybe we can have a little check-in. I can see if you're keeping up to date with it, you know, in like next week's video at the same time, because I will hopefully see you there. I love you, have a good day, and please be nice to yourself.